Hi, good evening, everyone. A very, very warm welcome to this very special session of Perspectives. Perspectives, as you know, is a is a monthly platform from Canara Robeco exclusively for all their partners, and we get external speakers to really share their insights in this platform. And today we are very, very privileged to have a very, very special guest. He needs no introduction. The one idiot of our industry, Shri Gajendra Kothari, a very special friend, a very dear friend, and we are very, very thankful that he accepted our invite and he has joined to actually talk to all of you, all our partners here on a very, very interesting topic. So while Gajendra needs no introduction, but uh, if I have to, briefly introduce him, I would say that some people watch the markets, some try to predict them. Gajendra does something very, very powerful and more powerful. He helps investors understand themselves. He blends behavioral finance, practical wisdom, and his crystal clear thinking to guide investors through every market cycle. He is a true Sarthi to investors and navigate them through the market volatility, market cycles, and help them achieve their dreams and goals. Gajendra, popularly known as One Idiot, is an avid long term investor, TEDx speaker, a tech lover, an entrepreneur, independent thinker, traveler, and a passionate financial literacy campaigner. He proudly calls himself One Idiot and with a goal to achieve 100 crores of wealth by making his money working hard through investing via SIP in mutual funds. For the last close to 2 decades, he has been running a very successful financial services firm called Etica Wealth Private Limited. And before that, he has worked in the industry on the AMC side before moving on to the distribution with UTI Mutual Fund, where he was the business development head for the UK market for UTI International Limited in London for 3 years. He is a CFA chartered holder and has completed CAIA and ICFA from London. He has done his MBA also from IMI New Delhi. He has been invited to more than 50 podcasts as a guest speaker, expert on a personal finance, and also appears on CNBC TV 18, ET Now, Z Business, and many more business channels. And of course, we have been meeting him in various distributor platforms, in various network FP platforms, and where he has been sharing all his secrets of business, all his secrets in terms of his growth. And today evening, thank you very much, Gajendra, for your time and accepting our invite for this very special session and talking about something which is very, very close to you. And I know that you have implemented it. And I remember you have told us many times that if you look at the biggest sales pitch which you have, or the biggest story which you talk to your clients is about your own portfolio, and that you have the skin in the game and you're talking about where you are invested. So it's a very, very powerful concept, and we all are very, very keen to hear more from you on it. And as you rightly said, that this is the biggest arsenal for the MFD growth journey. I'm sure a lot of people will relate to it, but you are the living example in terms of successfully implemented that practice, which of course Warren Buffett has talked about it. Nassim Taleb has actually talked about that as a framework. He's written that book also, Skin in the Game. And also in our industry is very relevant because from a regulation perspective, if you look at any AMC, any fund which is coming in, there is a skin in the game and it is mandatory regulatory. So it is there in our regulatory framework. Even for the key employees, it is, part of the regulatory framework that there has to be skin in the game. So, thank you very much for picking up, this very, very important and pertinent topic. And we are very curious to hear your thoughts, your perspectives in terms of how we can use this as an arsenal for the growth. And I'm sure you have your own live examples, a lot of stories from your side, which will inspire us to implement that. So with this, over to you, Gajendra. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gaurav, for that very generous introduction. Very thoughtful. I think you've done a whole lot of research. Though we know each other personally for last many years, I think our association goes back to you when you were with ICICI. Gaurav is a dear friend, and of course, when he invites, I can never say no. I'm very glad to be here on this forum, Gaurav, and I must thank you for initiating this idea called Perspectives. I think this is a wonderful uh, initiative that you and Canara Robeco has taken to engage with partners and basically kind of upskill them by inviting various thought leaders and on different topics. Because I think the only fuel which we require in our growth is the learning mindset, right? Learning should never stop. That's the only raw material that we have. So I'm very happy to see this initiative. I've also been personally a participant of almost all your sessions that you've conducted so far, and I
Great.
find them very very engaging. I tell my team members also to attend these sessions. And good thing is that you put on recordings also on the YouTube so that people can consume it later and rewatch it. So so coming back to today's topic, Gaurav, this is a topic which is very close to my heart. Uh, and So as you can see here, this is you can see the screen, right? Are people able to see the screen?
Yes, we can see. We can see. Yeah.
Okay. So why is skin in the game the biggest arsenal in MFD's growth journey? Many times, many MFDs come and ask me, "Sir, how do we grow our business? How do we get clients? What kind of activities we should do on social media or anywhere else? How should we go about and doing IAPs?" Right. So what I believe is those are different tactics to achieve your end goal. Those are the different strategies that you might use. The biggest thing that will make a key differentiator between you and anybody else in the competition is the skin in the game philosophy, right? Unless you follow this, unless you believe in this, all other things that you might talk and discuss will not take us much anywhere. And again, since the program name is perspective, these are my perspectives, not necessarily the right perspectives. So you must agree to disagree, okay? And as Gaurav mentioned, I'll try to be as candid as possible in sharing what has worked for me. I'm sure some of these things might work for you as well. And happy to engage in Q&A after the session. My presentation will take around 40 odd minutes, and happy to be in Q&A with Gaurav. Please ask your questions, whatever you feel, so that at the end of the session, we go home or we become more enriched with the knowledge sharing. So this, as I said, skin in the game has been the biggest thing in my life when I started Etica Wealth. Okay, and in what sense? In any session that I begin, my first slide always remains is that investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Uh, I've been a big believer of this because uh, only when we continuously invest in knowledge, this is one investment which will give us the highest ROI more than any mutual fund scheme or stock or cryptocurrency or gold can give in the world. In fact, the returns are infinite and priceless, right? And the cost is not much. So, so I begin this story with very interesting. There is this Old Bridge mutual fund. If you open their fact sheet, this very interesting story comes in the fact sheet, which says, I'm sure you would have seen this. In ancient Rome, when a bridge was constructed, the engineers of the bridge had to stand underneath when the scaffolding came off. With their lives at risk, the engineers left no room for error. Right? To ensure safety and longevity, the engineers ensured that the load carrying capacity of the bridge was much higher than the actual or expected loads. They thus built a higher margin of safety into their construction. So this is how the story of Old Bridge Mutual Fund, that's how they got their name. And this is very, very interesting. This is the best way to kind of check the accountability of the engineer, the quality of the material. So the engineer, head engineer, and the team would have to be underneath the bridge when the scaffolding came off. That was the biggest proof of concept, right? Whether the bridge was strong enough or not. So this is how skin in the game kind of concept was came on, and not just that. I'm sure again Another example from the Romans front, and it also applies to our kings, in the Indian civilization many years ago. All the emperors and the kings would lead from the front, right? We always hear this wonderful story of Rani Lakshmi Bai, Jhansi ki Lakshmi Bai, she was right leading from the front. Because when, as a leader, you lead from the front, when your neck is on the line, your team members, your entire troops get a lot of motivation. You're not worried about your life. You are willing to lay off your life. And in many cases, we have seen all those generals never had plan B, right? Only plan A, that either uh, we will we will win the war or battle, or we'll get martyred, right? And their mothers at home also would expect the same, right? They would never expect their son or daughter to come back from the battlefield running away, right? So that was the skin in the game, again, an example at the highest form, because your lives were at stake. Uh, Thankfully, in modern area that we live, our lives are not at stake, but still, a lot can be at stake if you follow the skin in the game in principle. Uh, from Roman emperors to the modern era, where today Elon Musk rules the roost. He's the world's first trillionaire, kind of waiting to happen. Uh, Tesla shareholders approve unprecedented $1 trillion pay package. Right now, we have not seen any individual person who has achieved this scale. Maybe Elon Musk becomes the first, but again, a lot of you might think, that he's getting it with not much at stake. But if you read the fine print, the total award depends on whether Musk can meet ambitious performance targets for the struggling electric vehicle company, including growing Tesla's market cap to $8.5 trillion, which is like 5x from today's valuation, right? Also, the goals include delivery of 20 million Tesla vehicles and 1 million bots, in addition to 1 million robo taxis in commercial operation. So it comes with a lot of kind of strings. Currently, he's about $473 billion. He's already the richest person on the planet. But what he's doing, generally, which in very few companies we see post listing, that the promoter is wanting to increase the stake. And you know why is he doing it? He's not doing for monetary reasons. He's doing for simply for the reason that he has enough skin in the game, and he has enough say in the company, because what he believes in, he wants the company to execute, and he's willing to take that risk under his personal name, right? So high stakes are there. A perfect example of skin in the game. Then this I picked from Parag Parikh website, mutual fund website. I think there's a very interesting story about Hammurabi's code. Not many of you may be aware. Around 18th century, this was a king named Hammurabi who instituted the first ever social law known as the Hammurabi's Code. And what is this code about? And I think this stone also lies in Paris's Louvre Museum. It is one of the first evidence of law ever written down. One of the principal features of the code was about the builder. If a builder built a house for a man and the house collapses to cause the death of the owner, then the builder has to be put to death. Okay? Such a punishment seems incredibly harsh, especially when there can be many reasons for the collapse. But with such a heavy downside in place, the builder has absolutely no incentive to cut corners in constructing the house. He has to use the best materials and the best building techniques to build the best possible house, which will last for a long time. The builder literally has his own skin in the success and longevity of the building. This type of a system ensures a very strict moral obligation and not just a professional responsibility. How could this same moral obligation be translated to the fund management business that we are in? Right? ये इतना अच्छा law लिखा गया था in 18th century, almost like 400 years back. And if you apply this to the fund management industry, which again I picked from Parag Parikh website, ideally in the fund management profession, the only way to instill a sense of accountability is to ensure that the fund management team is investing their own monies along with those of the clients. At PPFAS Mutual Fund, this ideal translates into reality, as the key stakeholders in the fund have invested a substantial portion of their equity investments in Parag Parikh FlexiCap Fund. Having our own skin in the game demonstrates the willingness to link our financial well-being with yours. This also places an implicit onus on us to make optimum use of our time and abilities in order to enhance the scheme's performance and avoid any kind of reckless behavior that fund managers are sometimes accused of. अभी हमने कई सारे केसेस में देखा, there was this IPO which came out at ridiculous prices, and few mutual fund schemes had subscribed, and it became a big talk of the town. Uh, Imagine if your own money is at stake, then the fund managers are very careful, right? I'm not saying whether that was a right or wrong decision, only time will tell. But at least when your substantial money is at stake, you are expected to behave in a much more sane manner. By investing in our own scheme and disclosing it every month, we are going beyond the regulations. So, as Gaurav mentioned, SEBI regulations mandate that 20% of their monthly income compulsory has to go to schemes. Uh, but I think in this case, the company has gone far beyond. And I don't think I would find this in too many mutual fund companies. This is the details of insider holdings by at all levels of employees of Parag Parikh, right from the holdings of Parag Parikh sponsor company, their key directors and employees. Then they go to the PPFAS AMC company, their directors and promoter group, how much stake they have in the scheme. They have in the scheme. Then they go to trustee companies and disclose how much trustees are holding in the same scheme. In fact, our trustees are supposed to be the first level filter. They are the guardians on behalf of the endless investors. And I believe trustee should also invest a significant amount of their money into the scheme of which they are trustees. I think then only in true sense they will be able to guard other unit holders' capital as well. Then they go on to share the details of key employees. Many mutual fund companies would stop at that. But in this case, Parag Parikh has also shared details of holdings of other employees, which are not key employees. He may be a very small clerk in the organization or receptionist. Even what they hold has been put up on the website. So I don't think we can get as more transparent than this, right? So skin in the game has to be there. At the heart of the phrase "easy come, easy go" is a psychological truth. We value what we earn more than what we are given, right? When something comes to us with little effort, whether it's money, success, or even personal relationships, it's easy to take it for granted. There's a lack of emotional attachment because no personal investment was made. Having skin in the game will require us to take on risks and sacrifices to achieve long term success or rewards. It is that patience and accountability that will help us secure a future benefit. And guys, हमेशा याद रखना, reward usually come with risk. चाहे वो financially हो, emotionally हो, or the most important thing being putting your reputation on the line, right? Having something at stake gives us a real push to show up and do our best. अगर skin in the game नहीं होगा, we are all just bystanders in our own lives. And I like the last line: those who talk should do, and only those who do should talk. This is what Nassim Nicholas Taleb said in his seminal book, Skin in the Game. So, skin in the game कैसे कैपिटल मार्केट्स में हाईएस्ट लेवल पे प्रैक्टिस किया जा सकता है? To my mind, the first skin in the game has to come from the promoters and directors of the listed companies in India. Okay, that's where highest skin in the game can come. If in a company the promoter has highest amount of shareholding, right, that shows skin in the game. And I also believe the salaries and board fees of the independent directors plus other directors should also be reinvested into the company's stock, right? That will ensure skin in the game. This is at the stock level. Coming to mutual fund houses, I believe almost if all the mutual fund houses invest a significant amount of their capital back into the schemes, right? This will ensure very high accountability. I'm aware of few names which I've kind of seen from their website. Motilal Oswal advertises heavily that their promoters have immense skin in the game. Parag Parikh, I told you about. DSP also have. I'm sure Canara Robeco would also have, and many other mutual fund companies. But it is very essential that all these companies should invest a lot of their capital back into the schemes and publish it on the website on a monthly basis. The next level comes the fund managers, who are the fund managers of those respective schemes, be it equity scheme, debt scheme. SEBI says 20% of the money should go. I believe it should be much higher, and it should be voluntarily. It shouldn't be regulatory defined. As a fund manager, whatever I earn, in fact, if I were the fund manager, I would ideally want to invest 100% of my money in the schemes where I invest. Barring a few things where I might require money at a short notice, but all my long term money should be there in the schemes that I manage. Then every MF employee of that mutual fund house, including the CEO, CBO, sales head, सबको अपना खुद का सारा पैसा उसी म्यूचुअल फंड हाउस की कोई भी स्कीम्स में लगाना चाहिए. ओके, so if I'm a representative of, let's say, Canara Robeco mutual fund, right? I should be able to come to all distributor partners, MFD partners, and show my account statement as a RM, as a sales head, कि देखो ये मेरा सारा पैसा मेरी कंपनी के फंड्स में लगा हुआ है. Then I'll be really talking with passion. And if tomorrow my schemes are not performing, as an RM, I can experience the pain that you might be having, because if your client's also not making money, right? We should be on the same boat. And finally, every MFD advisor and their team should recommend only those products where they have put in their family's money. So if at Etica Wealth, we are putting in whichever mutual fund schemes or any other product, me and my team should be able to show this to our investors, clients, कि हमने हमारा पैसा यहाँ डाला है और आप भी यहाँ डाल सकते हो, right? Finally, I believe that we all have to take on this accountability under the personal name. See, क्या होता है कि if you take, Naval Ravikant says, take risk under your personal name. So I have taken this risk under my personal name through One Idiot medium, that I invest all my money in mutual funds. I want to make 100 crores wealth only by investing in mutual funds and SIPs. Not because I need 100 crores, but I always believe that, when you go to a gym and you want to get trained under a trainer, और अगर वो trainer का body 6 packs नहीं है, if he's very fit, right? Then you would like to become one of him, in the sense, as far as your physical body is concerned. You would like to have similar kind of body, and you are willing to pay 50,000 or 1 lakh rupees to the trainer to ensure that you also get in shape like this. But अगर वो जिम का ओनर या जिम का जो ट्रेनर है उसका खुद का नहीं है, you will not be confident. So same way, the reason why I'm doing 100 crores is because if I'm a wealth manager, we are selling dreams to our clients that आपका wealth बनेगा. But अगर हमने वो wealth उसी तरीके से खुद का wealth वैसा नहीं बनाया है हमने, then we have told them a big lie, right? So इसीलिए आपको personal name में you should take it, because highest risk comes when you take personal name. I'm sure आप मेरे पीछे Rolls Royce देख रहे हैं. अगर मैं इसको थोड़ा सा और lift करूं तो it says fly or fall, right? आप देख रहे हैं. There should be no two other options, right? There should be no other excuse. Either you're there or you're not there. Either you win or you don't win, right? So when you take risk under your personal name, you are accountable to the fullest. एक रिसर्च पेपर आया था, स्किन और स्किम, right? Inside investment and hedge fund performance. 8 years back, this research paper came out in the fund management industry, and उसमें से 720 hedge funds का रिसर्च हुआ था कि funds with no outside capital and managed solely on a proprietary basis earned 4.3% higher excess returns annually compared to funds with only outside investment. So जिस funds में skin in the game नहीं था, they underperformed 4.3% annually, which is substantial, right? So this demonstrates skin in the game very, very clearly. और अगर, in fact, I'm sure आप agree करते होंगे, entire Wall Street 2008 financial crisis that we saw, it clearly revealed that there was no skin in the game. हमारे इंडिया में भी जो स्टॉक मार्केट का गेम है, again, it has been accused to be rigging in front of in favor of brokers, yeah, against the retail investor. This was a book which was written almost 100 years back. Where are the customers' yachts? So, it was an ancient story which says once in the dear dead days before recall, an out of town visitor was being shown the wonders of the New York financial district. When the party arrived at the Battery, which is this is an area, it's like a port, which is very close to the Wall Street in New York. One of his guides indicated some handsome ships riding at anchor, and he said, "Look, those are the bankers and brokers' yachts." "Where are the customers' yachts?" asked the naive visitor. "We all exist because for our clients, for our customers. And if customers' yachts are not there, then I think our yachts also won't remain for long, right? So it has to begin and end with the customer. Uh, I always give this example of this restaurant in Mumbai, which is my favorite for South Indian meals, Urpi Shri Krishna Boarding. Since 1942, this exists. When you go to this restaurant, you'll get this kind of South Indian meals on banana platter, and proudly they display message the message written there below the owner's photo, the founder's photo. The owner of this restaurant also eats here. आई थिंक इससे ज्यादा और आपको क्या वैलिडेशन चाहिए? नो अमाउंट ऑफ जोमैटो रेटिंग्स, स्विगी रेटिंग्स और एनी अदर रेटिंग्स कैन बीट दिस रेटिंग, इन माय ओपिनियन. क्योंकि अगर ओनर खुद आपके साथ बैठ के खाना खाता है, एंड आई कैन टेल यू लिटरली ओनर, दिस इज मे बी ही मे बी द थर्ड जनरेशन ओनर. एंड आई बीन एन एग्जाम्पल. मैं जब एक बार गया था संडे को, काफी भीड़ थी, 4 बजे मेरा नंबर आया था. एंड आई जब मैंने खाना खा के उठा, उसके बाद ओनर बैठा था, सेम खाना वही खा रहा है. एंड आई वेंट टू हिम एंड आई सेड, मैंने खाली ये फोटोज में देखा था, सुना था, बट आज मैंने देख भी लिया है. एंड ही वॉज वेरी हैप्पी. एंड देन मैंने उसको बात बात में बताया कि आई एम म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर और मैं ऐसा करता हूँ. ही वॉज सो हैप्पी. सेड कि म्यूचुअल फंड इज सच ए ग्रेट प्रोडक्ट, आई इन्वेस्ट ऑल ऑफ माई मनी इन म्यूचुअल फंड्स. और मैं मेरे सारे रिश्तेदार को बोलता हूँ, उनको समझ में ही नहीं आता है. So, and I told him that I use a lot of your pictures in all my presentations to show skin in the game. और आप लोग अगर जाते हैं नेक्स्ट टाइम, इफ यू आर इन बॉम्बे एंड इफ यू हैपन टू विजिट दिस, एक और इंटरेस्टिंग बात है इस रेस्टोरेंट के बारे में, विच नॉट मेनी अदर रेस्टोरेंट्स वुड बोस्ट ऑफ. If you see the first screen, it says "See our kitchen," right? They invite you to visit the kitchen. The owner again is right there in front of the kitchen. Timings दिया हुआ है. You can actually go and see the kitchen by your eyes. तो इससे ज्यादा I don't think they can demonstrate any kind of transparency and about hygiene or about what materials they are using, right? So that's the skin of the game. I mean, even Taj, ITC Oberoi would not kind of give me that kind of confidence which I get here. Again, this is no brainer. We all know these people. हमारे इंडिया में, वर्ल्ड में, हम सब इनके नाम सुने हैं. उनको हर लोग जानते हैं, हर एक बच्चा बच्चा जानता है. क्यों? Because they have skin in the game. They have created all their wealth through equities, right? And 2 times I was lucky. I happened to be at Omaha last year when it was Warren Buffett's last kind of, a session as a chairman. And 2 साल पहले भी गया था when it was Charlie Munger's last. उसके बाद he passed away. This is a hall full of 45,000 people come from all over the world. और क्यों सुनने आते हैं इसको, right? And why he's the only one who has this kind of attention span? Because I think इनसे बड़ा skin in the game किसी का नहीं है, right? And his story is like open book for last 70 years, 60, 70 years. He writes annual letters to all the shareholders. And people, and even the best of guys, the most intelligent of guys come to see him speak and talk. And his sentences carry a lot of weight only because of one factor, which is skin in the game, right? वो जो बोलते हैं वही करते हैं. एंड ये मैंने उनका करंट होल्डिंग निकाला अभी. Who are Berkshire's top shareholders? It would be not a surprise that Warren Buffett and his family is the biggest shareholder in Berkshire Hathaway. Berkshire Hathaway is a $1 trillion market cap, has a $1 trillion market cap. It is one of the first non-tech companies to achieve $1 trillion market cap. It is like a mutual fund in itself, Berkshire Hathaway. 38% ownership is by Warren Buffett. उसके बाद अलग अलग फंड्स का होल्डिंग है. एंड वॉरेन बफेट्स एंटायर होल्डिंग इज इन बर्कशायर हैथवे. ही हैज नो अदर होल्डिंग अपार्ट फ्रॉम बर्कशायर हैथवे, राइट? ये तो लेफ्ट साइड में है. बट द बेस्ट पार्ट अबाउट वॉरेन बफेट व्हाट आई लाइक इज द रिसेंट शेयर होल्डर लेटर जो उन्होंने लिखा है, विच आई वॉन्ट टू जस्ट, मैं आपको दिखाना चाहता हूं. सो अगर आप ये देखेंगे, वन सेकेंड, आई जस्ट वॉन्ट टू शो यू दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. सॉरी, या कैन यू सी दिस? I would strongly recommend all of you to read this latest Warren Buffett letter जो 9-10 दिन पहले आया था. This was his last letter as a chairman, and it is a 7-page letter which has lot of learnings for all of us, right? तो आप प्लीज इसको आप देखिएगा, इसको पढ़िएगा. You can download from the berkshirehathaway.com. The best part about this letter which I liked is he said, I would like to keep a significant amount of A shares, which he's the owner, until Berkshire shareholders develop the comfort with Greg, who is the new chairman, that Charlie and I long enjoyed. That level of confidence shouldn't take long. My children are already 100% behind Greg as our other Berkshire directors. So even after he's gone, his entire holding will continue to remain in Berkshire Hathaway, right? This is the kind of confidence he has in his own company because he has entire trust in his professional management. The same thing as MFDs can be proudly tell our clients कि अगर हम चले गए तो आपका पैसा एकदम सेफ है हमारी कंपनी के साथ, बिकॉज हमारा खुद का फैमिली का पैसा इज विल बी मैनेज लेट्स से बाय आवर टीम. सपोज इफ योर नेक्स्ट इन line is not there and if it is a professional team, in fact we should all work hard to create a professional entity so that even we are not there, the team can manage it very effectively. So the day we are able to do this, it will be the highest skin in the game, like Berkshire, like Warren Buffett has done. Warren Buffett has done. So, so this is a skin in the game even when he's not there, right? This is classic. Again, another example is Ramdev Agarwal, skin in the game, 0 to 1,000 crores, and he says you too can do it. बट जब हम म्यूचुअल फंड्स में सुनते हैं कि हाउ मेनी पीपल इन इंडिया हैज क्रिएटेड वेल्थ थ्रू म्यूचुअल फंड्स, आप और मैं एक भी नाम नहीं बता सकते हैं अ पॉपुलर नेम समवन हु हैज क्रिएटेड हिज एंटायर वेल्थ थ्रू म्यूचुअल फंड्स बाय इन्वेस्टिंग इन. वी हैव वेरी रैंडम एग्जांपल्स ऑफ हियर एंड देयर कि किसी ने 25 साल पहले एचडीएफसी के कोई फंड में डाला या निपॉन के फंड में डाला या कैन रोबेको के कोई फंड में डाला और 400-300x हो गया, and the amount that person would have put is only 1 lakh and that become 3 crore 4 crore. It is not a big deal, but we are yet to see a very big name or someone who has built the entire wealth by investing in mutual funds. इसीलिए आज 25, 30, 40 साल के बाद भी we are still struggling, and only 6, 7, 8% of the people in our country are investing in mutual funds, unlike in US where 50, 60% of the households have put their money in mutual funds. So ये जो frame है, if I were to ask you कि can you name anybody who has made wealth through mutual fund in India, we would struggle to put a face on this photo, right? So that was a challenge that I've taken कि क्या हम कोशिश करके हम सब अपना फोटोज यहाँ लगा सकते हैं क्या इन 10, 15, 20 years टाइम कि वी हैव क्रिएटेड, वी कैन शो द वर्ल्ड कि हमने, हमारी फैमिली ने पूरा वेल्थ म्यूचुअल फंड से बनाया है, राइट? एंड हम इसी पे बिलीव करते हैं. So that's when again I saw this wonderful kind of sentence from Swami Vivekanand ji. He's saying, take up one idea, make that one idea your life, think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. Let the brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea, and just leave every other idea alone. This is a way to success. Unfortunately, क्या होता है, हम लोग जो आज की जिंदगी जी रहे हैं उसमें हम इतनी सारी चीजें करना चाहते हैं. We want to work on 20 ideas and we are not able to do justice on any one idea, right? So इसीलिए I thought कि my single most idea which I want to do is to become one idiot. Based on the movie One Idiot that came almost 13, 14 years back by IDFC Foundation. अगर आप लोग ने ये मूवी नहीं देखी है किसी ने, प्लीज वॉच इट. आई हैव बीन अ बिग बिलीवर ऑफ दिस कि मुझे भी वन इडियट बन के दिखाना है और फिर बहुत सारे वन इडियट्स बनाने हैं. So this is my identity. This is my visiting card. I write one idiot. One of my MBA batchmate, gave me a wonderful line showing what does this idiot mean, and it actually narrates my philosophy. Intelligent desi investor with overwhelming tolerance, right? So, so this is a very, very nice definition of idiot. Okay, this is my identity, and I want to become like this Kadka uncle with Hawaii chappal in his hand. World उसको समझता है ये idiot है, but this idiot is very intellectual guy who made 100 crores through simple living and made through the power of compounding. So I met Amol Gupte who made this movie and I said, sir, आपने रियल इडियट बनाई है, मुझे एक दिन रियल इडियट बनना है और दुनिया को खाली ये प्रूफ करके दिखाना है कि इतनी बड़ी वेल्थ बनाने के लिए ज्यादा दिमाग लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है, पेशेंस और डिसिप्लिन से हो सकता है, राइट? सो this was my game plan for 100 crores. Ki, can I create 100 crores wealth in 20 years time span? I joined this industry, started my company Etica Wealth when I was 30. So before I turned 50th birthday, want to do this. So all of you know this story. उस वक्त सेविंग्स ज्यादा नहीं थी, 10,000 की थी, बट बिकॉज स्किन इन द गेम कॉन्फिडेंस था कि दिस इज अ ब्यूटीफुल प्रोडक्ट. अगर मैं क्लाइंट्स को रेकमेंड कर रहा हूँ, आई शुड हैव ऑल माई मनी गोइंग इन SIPs, केप्ट ऑन इंक्रीजिंग द SIPs, राइट? जो भी मुझे मेरी इनकम आती है म्यूचुअल फंड के बिजनेस से, एवरीथिंग गोज बैक इन द फॉर्म ऑफ SIPs. सो टुडे मी एंड माई फैमिलीज आर डूइंग 42 लाख रुपीज SIP पर मंथ. ये हर साल बढ़ती जाएगी बिकॉज वी हैव नो अदर. जो भी खर्चा निकालने के बाद जो भी है वो और कहीं नहीं डालना है. वी डोंट डू डायरेक्ट स्टॉक्स वगैरह कुछ भी नहीं. सो दिस इज व्हाट वी डू बिकॉज अनलेस आई बिलीव इन, हाउ वुड माई इन्वेस्टर्स बिलीव इन, राइट? सो गौरव ने ये बात कही थी, दिस होल सेशन इज अबाउट स्किन इन द गेम. दिस इज अ वंडरफुल बुक बाय नसीम तालिब. आई वुड स्ट्रांगली रिकमेंड यू टू रीड दिस. मैं भी ये बुक अभी पढ़ रहा हूँ, काफी कुछ सीखने को है. And he says just one line: never ask anyone for their opinion, forecast, or recommendation. Just ask them what they have or don't have in their portfolio. जब मैं अपने clients को ये एक slide दिखाता हूँ, which is a very powerful slide, कि no cryptos, IPOs, NFOs, मैं कुछ नहीं करता, no LICs, PPF. Again, ये house is a very very personal thing, so I wouldn't like to kind of put much stress. But मेरे केस में मेरे पास घर नहीं है, गाड़ी नहीं है, गोल्ड नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं है. सिंगुलरली फोकस मेरा यहाँ पे रहा है because I believe in this product, okay? And not just that, and I'll tell you why I believe in this product. तो मेरा सारा पैसा यहाँ पे couple of PMS, 3-4 PMS में है, again to try and test the waters to see if PMS really can beat mutual funds over a 5-7 year period, right? जब तक खुद टेस्ट नहीं करेंगे तो कैसे क्लाइंट को बताएंगे? सेम चीज गोज विथ SIFs. अभी SIFs पीपल आर वेरी एक्साइटेड, वी आर वेटिंग एंड वॉचिंग. हम 6-12 महीना देखेंगे, पहले हम खुद का पैसा डालेंगे, हम हमारी क्या लर्निंग रहती है, हमारा क्या एक्सपीरियंस रहता है, एंड देन ओनली विल गाइड आवर कस्टमर्स. वी डोंट वांट टू टेस्ट दिस विद आवर क्लाइंट्स मनी, राइट? सो दिस इज व्हाट आई बिलीव. एंड ये चार्ट आप सबने देखा होगा, व्हाई स्किन इन द गेम मैटर्स, बिकॉज 2 बार ऐसे मौके आए थे, 2010 to 2013. फर्स्ट चार्ट एंड द थर्ड चार्ट. First chart, yeah, and the third chart from where my portfolio was minus after 10 years, minus 1% total capital after 10 years. And that is where skin in the game really matters. Either we swim together or sink together, right? अगर कोविड के टाइम पे my portfolio was the worst portfolio in my entire book. I was bleeding the most, right? और जब वापस रिबाउंड हुआ तो आई वाज द वन हु मेड द हाईएस्ट रिटर्न्स बिकॉज इट वाज वेरी एग्रेसिव. बट दिस स्किन इन द गेम गिव्स हाईएस्ट अमाउंट ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस टू आवर कस्टमर्स, टू आवर इन्वेस्टर्स, एंड वी टेल देम वेरी क्लियरली, सर आपने तो जो हमको हमें जो पैसा दिया आपने, इट माइट बी 10% ऑफ योर एसेट, 20% ऑफ योर एसेट, और मे बी 50% ऑफ योर एसेट, बट जो हमने हमारा डाला है वो 100% है, विच मीन्स वी डोंट हैव प्लान बी. ओके, this is the reverse of skin in the game. He was a secretary, US Treasury Secretary, and ex City banker, जिसने he made $120 million in bonuses from 2003-4 all the way till 2008-9, right? और जब 2008-9 में American crisis हुई, Citibank was insolvent, and the bank was to be paid by taxpayers' money. But this guy didn't have to lose anything. He kept his $120 million, right? So he made all the gains, but जब loss की बारी आई, it was taxpayers' money who made the losses. I think why should this be? His entire bonuses should have been clawed back, right? So this is called the Bob Rubin trade, very famous, made by Nassim Taleb. So we don't want to be like him. कि we don't want to be in a situation where हमारे clients ने पैसा नहीं बनाया और हमने पैसा बनाया है. This is the last thing I would like to see in my journey, right? So very important, and that is why I take immense pride in this slide. I'm the largest SIP client in my firm. As I told you, my family's SIP is 42 lakh. My second biggest client in SIP is only 20 lakh, right? And I'm quite okay. And it really gives me a good feeling कि चलो यार सबसे ज्यादा पैसा मेरा है. Or I'm also the largest client of my firm. And these I'm you know my, of the total AUM that we have, 1.7% is our own family's AUM. Again, highest skin in the game. The remaining clients are all this, and these are nine other clients who are above 1%, which means all other clients are less than 1% of our AUM. That also gives us a lot of confidence in our business model, that it is hugely diversified, that we don't have concentration risk of our top clients holding large amount of our AUM कि अगर वो कल चले गए तो क्या होगा, right? So this is what gives us peaceful night of sleep. And because of this reason, 15 साल पहले भी मैं ये चीज में विश्वास रखता था कि this is a pull business, not a push business. Clients will find you and come to you. That is the only way you can scale this, and this can only happen if they have trust in you. Because जब इंडस्ट्री नहीं होती है तो distribution is the biggest thing. If you have muscle power, distribution power, you will get business. When clients gain awareness, product is king. आज की डेट में mutual fund SIP has become king. But no, I mean, we will soon reach a time when the product is commoditized. Everybody is aware about SIP. किसी को समझाने की जरूरत नहीं है. Then why should people come to you? We are based in Bombay. We receive a lot of inquiries from small cities like Bhatinda, Tejpur, Manipur, Chennai. मतलब small towns and cities across India. वहां पे भी तो advisors है. They have MFDs and advisors very close to their office or home. Why still they want to connect you here, right? Because they would have heard you somewhere. They are able to connect to your philosophies, and you have created a brand by that skin in the game philosophy, and people want to come to you no matter what, right? So can we all become brand? आज आप लोग इतने लोग जो सुन रहे हैं, by making skin in the game the biggest thing in our entire thing. Because clients don't come to buy products from you. मैंने क्या बताया, वो तो वो ऑनलाइन भी खरीद सकते हैं, ग्रो, जीरोधा, या वो अपने आसपास के एमएफडी से भी खरीद सकते हैं. बट इफ दे आर कमिंग टू यू, दे आर कमिंग टू यू टू बिकॉज दे बाय योर कन्विक्शन. लास्ट संडे 2 ladies came to our office, teacher and one more. Both on their side we had, हमें म्यूचुअल फंड पे बिल्कुल भी भरोसा नहीं है, राइट? बिकॉज वी बर्न्ड आवर फिंगर्स हैंड्स मेनी इयर्स बैक. तो वी वुड लाइक टू सी इफ यू आर एबल टू कन्विंस अस. सो मैंने उनको एक ही सिंपल बोला कि मैडम मैं कोशिश करूंगा, बट एक चीज मैं आपको बताने की कोशिश करता हूँ कि मैं हीरो नहीं हूँ, ये प्रोडक्ट हीरो है, राइट? तो आप कन्विंस होगे तो इट ओनली बिकॉज द प्रोडक्ट इज गुड, नॉट बिकॉज आई एम एबल टू कन्विंस यू. सो इन आफ्टर 1 hour, both the sisters were deeply convinced with the way I showed my portfolio, everything. मुझे कुछ और बताने की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ी, right? So client buys you not products from you. They buy your conviction, and your conviction will only come जब आपने पूरा डाला है. फिर आपको कोई चीज फेक करने की जरूरत नहीं है. You don't have to show up, okay? And if you want to make this go viral, go large, it has to come with a story and not numbers. आप क्लाइंट के साथ लॉजिकल डेटा फैक्ट्स में बात करोगे ना तो नहीं समझ में आएंगे. वो टीचर्स थे, राइट? दे अंडरस्टैंड स्टोरीज बेटर. सो आप उनको ट्रू स्टोरी बताओ, ऑथेंटिक स्टोरी बताओ, विच दे कैन कनेक्ट, एंड they will be able to make decision much faster, right? Fortunately for me, 188 has been the story, Rolls-Royce has been the story. Everybody is able to connect so well, right from an auto rickshaw driver to a billionaire, because this is a very powerful story, right? And I've put up on all public platforms that I wish to own a Rolls-Royce, not because I want to drive, but because that boy in the movie bought a Rolls-Royce. I want to buy, and just to prove कि SIP करके Rolls-Royce आ सकती है. So all I've done is take a simple idea, as Vivekananda ji said, and take it seriously, right? चार्ली मंगर भी एक ही बात बोलते हैं. 10 चीज में दिमाग मत लगाओ, एक चीज को पकड़ो, और फिर अपने ऊपर वो ब्लिंकर्स लगा दो जो घोड़े के ऊपर रहते हैं ना, कि ही कांट सी एनीवे। बस एक ही चीज को फॉलो करो, एंड दिस विल लीड यू टू गारंटेड सक्सेस। फाइनली, हुज योर रेन मेकर? सो बहुत सारे आप लोग सुन रहे होंगे, एंड आप मुझे बहुत लोग आके बोलते हैं कि अरे हमारे हाउ डू वी गेट क्लाइंट्स, एंड हमारे टीम मेंबर्स कैसे क्लाइंट्स लेके आए। मैंने एक चीज मानी है, इन योर बिजनेस, पर्टिकुलरली इन बिजनेस दैट वी आर रनिंग, यू आर द रेन मेकर, यू आर द पर्सन हु विल जनरेट इनकम फॉर बिजनेस। मतलब आप क्लाइंट्स लेके आओगे, दैट्स इट। डोंट एक्सपेक्ट योर टीम विल गेट क्लाइंट्स, राइट? योर टीम कैन मैनेज द रिलेशनशिप, बट जो बिजनेस है ना, वो आपके कारण आएगा, बिकॉज यू आर द फेस। आपका नाम इज एट स्टेक, योर पर्सनल ब्रांड इज एट स्टेक, योर फैमिलीज नेम इज एट स्टेक। ये लाइफ लॉन्ग आपको ही करना है, राइट? और आपकी टीम मैनेज कर सकती है, बट पीपल विल कम बिकॉज ऑफ यू। वी आर नॉट लाइक, at this stage we are not like HDFCs of the world or ICICI ki it has become a big brand and there are team people leaking. It is going to be mostly on personal name, okay? And ये business जो आएगा ना, what thing I've seen the biggest lever for me in getting good conversion is the the lever of ethics. अभी हम सब लोग बोलते हैं कि हम लोग सब एथिकल है, बट हम में से कितने लोग क्लाइंट को ओपनली हमारे पोर्टफोलियो का टीआर बताते हैं, कमीशन हमें क्या मिलता है वो बताते हैं। बिलीव मी, ट्रस्ट मी, द डे यू ओपन अप कंप्लीटली कि मुझे आपसे ये मिलता है एंड दिस इज द फेयर रेम्युनरेशन दैट आई रिसीव, डोंट हैव टू डिफेंड दैट। अगर आपने उसको अच्छा वैलिडेशन दिया है, टू डिजर्व टू अर्न 0.5, 6, 7, 1% जो भी है, वी शो आवर ओन पोर्टफोलियो टीआर टू आवर क्लाइंट्स। और हम ये भी बोलते हैं आप डायरेक्ट में जाते तो आपका इतना सेविंग होता, बट बिकॉज अगर आप 15 साल से हमारे साथ करें, बिकॉज ऑफ द वैल्यूएशन दैट वी गिवन, यू हैव बीन एबल टू गेट 2, 3, 4% अल्फा, विजिबल अल्फा, तो वो कहीं नहीं जाएगा, राइट? इट विल हेल्प बिल्ड ट्रस्ट, इट विल शॉर्टन योर सेल साइकिल, इट विल इंक्रीज द कन्वर्जन, एंड आपको जस्टिफाई नहीं करना है, राइट? सो दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट लीवर, स्किन इन द गेम प्लस कंप्लीट ट्रांसपेरेंसी इन योर डीलिंग्स। व्हेन मैसेंजर लाइज, मैसेज सफर्स, राइट? ये एक आर्टिकल आया था, पूनम पांडे डेथ पे, कैंसर एंड स्टफ, इट वाज अ पब्लिसिटी स्टंट, अ चीप पब्लिसिटी स्टंट, एंड इट सेज व्हेन मैसेंजर लाइज मैसेज सफर्स, राइट? अगर हम लोग ही बिलीव नहीं करेंगे, हम लोग खुद उसको नहीं पुट आवर ओन मनी एंड डू इट, आई थिंक दैट द इंडस्ट्री विल नेवर ग्रो, बिकॉज इफ यू डोंट बिलीव इन हु एल्स। आज की डेट में हम लोग म्यूचुअल फंड सही है, कैंपेन के थ्रू वी आर पुटिंग एड्स ऑफ धोनी एंड क्रिकेटर्स। आई थिंक इट शुड बी आवर ओन इंडस्ट्रीज पीपल हु क्रिएटेड दिस वेल्थ। जो भी फंड मैनेजर्स है जिन्होंने 20-30 साल स्कीम के पैसे मैनेज किए हैं, और अगर उन्होंने वो वेल्थ बनाई है, I have always believed if the fund manager's own investment could have come on the ads, keep as a fund manager, I invested my money, just like Warren Buffett. I mean, I'm giving example. आज ये industry, we are at 75 lakh crore, it would have gone 10x. We don't need anybody else to validate this wonderful product, right? And I would now just one more minute and we are there. This is the biggest proof for me of the skin in the game. A wonderful ad from Volvo, Survivor Sales Agents. So मैं आपको ये ad दिखाता हूँ and then we will kind of stop from here.
There is no voice coming, Gajendra. We can't hear the volume. Gajendra, can you hear us? No. Gajendra, we can't hear the sound.
1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. I'm so sorry. Just a second. Uh, how do it should come? अभी भी ऑडियो नहीं आ रहा है?
No.
नो ना, ओके, ठीक है. सो
I think.
मे बी ठीक है. सो नॉट एन इशू. सो दिस वाज द
Maybe
एड.
if you just post it in the chat, then people can view it themselves.
आई विल पोस्ट इट ऑन द आई विल पोस्ट द लिंक, राइट?
Yeah.
हाँ, सो मैं ना ये डाल देता हूँ उसमें. 1 second.
Otherwise, like, we can request participants to go to the YouTube, check it. Yeah.
Yes. So I'll put it. Okay. 1 second. Instead of Bluetooth. Okay. So I'll just put this on the. I put it on the chat. Okay.
Wonderful.
And इसमें 1 second. So can you see this? 1 second. So what I wanted to share was this particular thing. So आपने ये देखा है. This is Volvo's का ad where every other car talks about features, right? Like our service is the best, our design is the best, horsepower is the best, we can go up to speed. This is one company which has always been at the forefront of safety. I'm not sure how many of us are aware, it was Volvo who invented the seat belt concept in the world. And they were very kind enough not to patent this. अगर वो patent करते उसको, उससे they could have made millions and billions of dollars by patenting this. But they decided to not do patent so that every competitor of theirs can use it because it was for the benefit of the mankind, right? The purpose was much larger than the money they could make. And in this ad, instead of the normal salespeople, these are all the Volvo cars crash survivors who has now become sales representatives. And I like this, the best line, which says, this guy is not a salesman, but he's the best salesman I have ever met. I don't think you can get a bigger message than this. He, as a financial advisor, of course, we should never sound like a salesman, which generally we have seen in banks and other places. But your client should come and tell you that this is the best salesman or advisor I've ever met. He doesn't sound like salesy. He doesn't push me things. But उसने जो बोल दिया, I can't say no, right? Because he's having entire skin in the game. He's having the best interest of my family at heart. So this is the biggest proof of messenger is the message. And this is how I would like to end from Nick Murray's quote, saying that the messenger is the message. In our industry, जो messenger है, which we are the messengers, we are taking this message to our clients. We have to be the message, right? हमने जो client को बोला है, वो ही finally पत्थर की लकीर होनी चाहिए. That we don't have to be providing explanations or reasons कि हमने क्यों बोला है. Our word should be our bond. That is, then we will go into another zone of trust where you'll be able to add a lot more clients. You'll be able to do more business because you don't have to prove yourself every time, right? That is why in the beginning I said, Gaurav, this can be your biggest arsenal in any mutual fund distributor's growth journey or advisor. Because beyond this, beyond skin in the game, you don't and you can't prove beyond this. आपने अगर अपना पोर्टफोलियो दिखा दिया, उसके बाद आपको क्या प्रूव करना है? आप कैसे प्रूव करोगे? So this is where I would stop and we can get into questions and answers.
Thank you so much, Gajendra. I think it is so profound, and I think what you have showed about your portfolios, that you are the biggest investor in your firm, I think that itself is the biggest selling pitch. After that, no question asked from any investor, because you have demonstrated that you are investing yourself and in the same funds. So we will take few questions. There are a lot of questions which have come in. Of course, knowing Gajendra's popularity, and a lot of people wanted to ask you. We will take few of them. So any questions you have, you can post it in the chat window, and I'll take it on your behalf, and we will ask Gajendra. So, Gajendra, I think I'm very curious to ask you that, while we all understand that today's world, there is an information explosion, means everybody is a Google investor. I'm sure you must be facing that. And they have their own, in terms of recommendations or which funds they want to invest in, because, and there's so much of kind of portals which are available, direct portals which are available, and there's so much advertisement and emphasis on the near-term performances and talking about few funds. So how do you manage those investors, those who are coming in, and convincing them? Because I'm sure you have your own criteria on which you have decided which funds to invest in, while investors have their own funds in which they wanted to invest in. So how do you marry both of them and then convince the investors to invest in the funds which you are recommending, or what you do about that?
Very simple. You are very right. And I'm sure last 6 months में most of the queries would have come on gold and silver की everybody wants to jump
Yes,
into
correct.
buy.
Invest in gold
मेरे
and silver, yeah.
मेरे friend का phone आया था, very close friend. His father passed away, so some money had to come to his mother, around 20 lakhs or so, and he was about to buy physical gold, about to buy. Okay, and I'm giving you live examples so that people can connect.
Correct.
So I asked, then suddenly, and his mom called me, not his son who is my friend. His mom called me. He says, "Beta, I want to take your view because one, मेरे एक बेटा बोल रहा है कि फिजिकल गोल्ड मत लो, एक बेटा बोल रहा है डिजिटल गोल्ड लो, तो अभी मैं क्या करूं, मैं कंफ्यूज हो गई, तो मैंने सोचा तुमको फोन करती हूँ." तो look, and this is I take pride in, because my friend's mother is calling me and trusting me, and this is the kind
The
of,
real test.
this is a real savings she's having, because her husband passed away, so this means a big amount to her, right? तो आई कॉल्ड अप माय फ्रेंड एंड आई सेड, तू गोल्ड, पहली बात तो तू फिजिकल गोल्ड क्यों खरीद रहा है? इन दिस डे एंड एज वी हैव गोल्ड ईटीएफ है, तो क्यों खरीद रहा है? तो बोलता नहीं, आई डोंट हैव ट्रस्ट इन गोल्ड ईटीएफ एंड ऑल, कल को
Okay.
कुछ हो जाएगा। मैं बोला तुम्हारे जैसा एजुकेटेड आदमी अगर ये बात बोलेगा कि गोल्ड ईटीएफ इट इज सेबी रेगुलेटेड, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग यू टू बाय डिजिटल गोल्ड, एंड थैंकफुल उसके 4 दिन बाद सेबी का एक डिजिटल गोल्ड पे भी आ गया था।
Correct.
मैं बोला फिजिकल गोल्ड रखोगे कहाँ पे, क्वालिटी एंड ऑल, सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू शुड, even if you're buying gold, buy in ETF format. So I was able to convince. Then I asked him, I went on second level, says, why are you buying gold at this stage? Because it is already so high. I'm not very convinced as an advisor. 6 महीने में इतना भाग गया, and you are buying solely because 6 महीने में इतना है, तो you think the same performance will be repeated in the future.
Correct. Correct.
And I told him only one thing: if it was my money, I wouldn't buy this. And I stopped it here. I said, Baki, it's your choice. And he said, how can I cross your line? मतलब तुमने बोल दिया तो वो पत्थर की लकीर है, my दोस्त said, right? I can ask you questions, but if you said and if you believe in so much, then you tell me where to put in my mom's money, and I tell him based on a risk profile, whatever we can put in equity fund और जिस thing, और 5-6 साल नहीं चाहिए तो 10-12% रिटर्न आ जाएंगे, which is good enough. Trust खत्म, बात खत्म. He said, go and do the action. So this is how you demonstrate. So what I do, Gaurav, जनरली आपने जो बोला ना स्कीम कैसे सेलेक्ट करते हो, वी आर ए कॉन्ट्रेरियन, सो जो स्कीम अच्छा नहीं की है पिछले 3 सालों में, 4 सालों में, which are at the bottom of the quartile performance because of a particular reason, because the philosophy which they had invested, that philosophy has not worked out. Let's say in last 3 years quality has not worked out, quality stocks.
Correct.
So they are, all the schemes who are tracking quality will be down, and if we believe that this in next 3-4 years this should do well, again we first put in our money, और फिर सो क्लाइंट अगर हमारे पास आके बोलता है कि ये स्कीम ने बेस्ट परफॉर्म किया है तो करो, आई वुड रिप्लाई बैक टू सेइंग दैट लुक, दिस स्कीम इज ऑलरेडी परफॉर्म्ड वेरी सुपरबली इन द लास्ट 3 years. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू पुट माय फैमिलीज मनी. ऑन द कंट्री, आई पुट माय फैमिलीज मनी इन दीज फंड्स बिकॉज ऑफ दिस रीजन. राइट नाउ ऑन द चार्ट इट मे बी शोइंग द वर्स्ट परफॉर्मिंग स्कीम एंड बॉटम क्वार्टाइल 1 स्टार, और मैं अपना खुद का पैसा दिखाता हूँ, अभी डाला है मैंने रिसेंटली इसमें,
Hmm.
right? And I leave it there. It's your choice what call you want to take. Trust me, 90% of the clients then finally says, I leave it to you. You decide, can't Allah, I'll not interfere in your judgment. So 10% will still go and do whatever they want to do, right? But at least just by showing this, you shorten your conversation cycle. अदरवाइज आप है ना कितना भी लॉजिक दिखा दो, नंबर डेटा दिखा दो, यू मे नॉट विन द आर्ग्यूमेंट विथ हिम. बट आपने खाली बोल दिया कि मैंने मेरा पैसा यहाँ डाला है, एंड यू शो हिम द प्रूफ ऑफ कॉन्सेप्ट. मैं अपना अकाउंट स्टेटमेंट दिखा देता हूँ, लाइव लॉगिन पोर्टफोलियो लॉगिन खोल कर दिखा देता हूँ. उसके बाद मुझे कुछ बताने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. आई सेड यू डिसाइड देन. आई सेड आई डोंट टू शो यू, टू बोर यू विथ ऑल द नंबर्स एंड फैक्ट्स एंड फिगर्स की क्या है. एंड बहुत जल्दी क्लियर क्लोज हो जाता है. So, and one thing is you should not chase the client. You should never chase the client.
अच्छा.
See, कभी भी एक डॉक्टर पेशेंट के पीछे नहीं पड़ता है कि आपने टेस्ट कराया कि
Hmm.
नहीं कराया, आपने दवाई ली कि नहीं. If somebody is a very well known, doctor, this thing, वो आपको खाली गाइड करेगा, and it is your duty to come back and report to him कि मैंने ये किया, ये नहीं किया. You have to treat yourself on the likes of doctor कि I'm that good doctor. मैं मेरा काम बहुत मेहनत से करूंगा, बहुत ईमानदारी से करूंगा मेरा टाइम, बट आई विल नॉट ट्राई टू चेज पीपल, राइट? अनफॉर्चुनेटली हमने खासकर बैंकिंग और वहां पे देखा कि पीपल चेज क्लाइंट्स विथ एनएफओज एंड प्रोडक्ट्स. सर ये लास्ट डे है. आई थिंक ये सब चीजें अब खत्म हो जाएगी. दीज आर नॉट एट ऑल वैल्यूएशन. इनफैक्ट क्लाइंट्स गेट इरिटेटेड बाय दीज,
Hmm.
राइट? तो और आपको मालूम है, आपने अगर शॉर्ट टर्म परफॉर्मेंस का कोई स्कीम भेज दिया, इट इज गोइंग टू कम एंड बाइट यू इन 3, 6, 9 months टाइम डाउन द लाइन,
Correct.
बिकॉज इट विल गो थ्रू इट साइकिल. सो
मतलब your master is, where you are investing, demonstrate that, and I think that builds the trust, and that's the best way to handle any kind of objections. Uh,
यस.
Also, Gajendra, while you have built credibility, trust, it has taken you time, correct, in terms of journey. Another question which is coming in is that somebody who's starting and beginning his career, so he doesn't have a brand today, correct? He has to walk that entire journey. Uh, Maybe he doesn't have that kind of substantial money also to invest and show and demonstrate that to the investors and to build that trust. Maybe the amount is very small or whatever it may be. So somebody who's just starting his journey, how he can build that trust, and what you would suggest him that uh, how he can grow his business. What are the things which he should be focusing on from your own personal journey? What has worked for you when you reflect on your journey of last 15 years?
See, again, I would say skill in the game in the sense you might be small today. आप शायद 5,000 का SIP करे हो खुद का, फैमिली का 10,000 का करे हो, because you don't have much income. But believe me, that itself can be an amazing story. आप क्लाइंट के पास जा रहे हो, show the entire book. This is my income today. I'm making 50,000 per month. 25-30 हजार मेरा खर्चा है. मैं सिर्फ 10,000 बचा पा रहा हूँ, और 10 का 10,000 पूरा SIP में डाल रहा हूँ, और ये फंड्स में डाल रहा हूँ, ये कर रहा हूँ. राइट? सी, योर स्टोरी डजंट हैव टू बी लाइक माइंड स्टोरी टुडे कि अरे इतना बड़ा पैसा डाल रहा हूं तो क्लाइंट बात सुनेगा. वो बाद में सुनेगा, बट आप ऑथेंटिक स्टोरी बता रहे हो डे वन में. इट्स नॉट अबाउट आज जैसे, ठीक है मेरी SIP गौरव बड़ी हो गई, बट हमारे यहाँ 40 लोग टीम मेंबर्स हैं,
Correct.
राइट? उनकी तो ये स्टोरी नहीं है ना. बट आज भी मैं टीम को बोलता हूँ कि जब मैं आपको क्लाइंट दे रहा हूँ, वो क्लाइंट मेरी स्टोरी देख के आया है, बट वो आपके पास टिकेगा आपकी स्टोरी देखकर, मेरी स्टोरी देखकर नहीं.
Very
तो
true.
आप अगर RM हो उस क्लाइंट के, आपको अपनी फैमिली की स्टोरी क्लाइंट को बताना है कि सर की SIP इतनी बड़ी अमाउंट है, मेरी नहीं है, मेरी इनकम इतनी है, बट मेरी इनकम का 40%, 50%, 30% SIP में जा रहा है, और ये फंड्स में मैं कर रहा हूँ. ये मेरे फैमिली का पोर्टफोलियो है. बट मुझे कॉन्फिडेंस है कि आज मेरी SIP 30,000 की है, लेकिन 10 साल बाद मेरी भी SIP 5 लाख 10 लाख की होगी, बिकॉज माई इनकम विल ग्रो एंड माई कॉन्फिडेंस इज हियर, एंड आई विल रैंप अप दिस. ये कॉन्फिडेंस, क्लाइंट को आपके चेहरे पे ये कॉन्फिडेंस दिखना चाहिए कि आज मैं छोटा हूं, लेकिन मैं हमेशा छोटा नहीं रहूंगा. राइट? जो नए MFD आए हैं ना, आप बोलो सर आज मैं छोटा हूं, बट मार्क माई वर्ड्स, बिकॉज आई बिलीव इन दिस इंडस्ट्री, आई बिलीव दिस इज माई पैशन, मैं छोटा नहीं रहूंगा. और ये बात मैंने 15 साल पहले सोची थी मेरे लिए, कि आज मैं फ्री में एडवाइस दे रहा हूँ लोगों को, बिकॉज लोग को ये समझ नहीं आ रहा है, बट एक दिन ये लोग लाइन लगा के आने चाहिए, बिकॉज यू बिलीव इन द प्रोडक्ट. इट्स नॉट अबाउट योर दिस थिंग, यू द प्रोडक्ट इज सो गुड एंड यू बिलीव इन दैट. और वो बिलीफ दिखनी चाहिए गौरव, आपकी बात करने की स्टाइल और कॉन्फिडेंस में दिखनी चाहिए।
Conviction. Correct. Absolutely.
कन्विक्शन।
Truly said. Truly said. Uh, Also, there is one question which is coming in. Keep referral. Uh, how do we acquire clients? So is it only through the referrals, or what are the different modes which we can apply so that we can acquire clients and grow?
Yes. So again, there are two things about this. मतलब दो parallel views है. There's nothing wrong in asking referrals. The whole world does this. खासकर जब आप स्टार्टिंग फेज में हैं, आपके पास क्लाइंट्स नहीं है. मेरे गुरु अगेन निक मरे एक ही बात कहते हैं कि योर एंड माई जॉब इज टू कीप प्रैक्टिसिंग द क्राफ्ट. अपने क्राफ्ट को इतना अच्छा प्रैक्टिस करो एंड टेक योर वर्क टू एज मेनी पीपल एज पॉसिबल, भले ही वो आपका क्लाइंट बने या नहीं बने. सो इन माई केस लेट्स से इफ आई एम ए न्यू गाय, I'll come to you, Gaurav, and says, Gaurav, मैं एक MFD हूँ. I'm building this business. I believe in this, and I want to show you my work. You might already be investing with other advisor and वगैरह वगैरह, but I still want to come and show you my work. I want to meet as many people and show my work. हो सकता है मैं 10 लोगों से मिलूंगा, 3 लोग साइन अप करेंगे, right? So do that. Ask your clients for referral वगैरह वगैरह. This is the general norm. I'm also telling you my personal side. Personally, I don't believe in referrals because मैं अपने आप को वो डॉक्टर का एग्जांपल लेके हमेशा समझता हूँ कि आई एम इक्वेटिंग माई सेल्फ विद दैट डॉक्टर, गुड डॉक्टर एग्जांपल. और गुड डॉक्टर वुड नेवर आस्क फॉर रेफरल्स, राइट? वो भले ही स्लो ग्रो करेगा बट ही वांट दैट पुल फैक्टर टू कम इन. तो मैं आई वुड रादर प्रैक्टिस ऑन माई बिजनेस टू मेक इट सो मच वैल्यूएडिशन कि क्लाइंट सामने से आके बोले कि माई फ्रेंड नीड दिस. आज एक फर्स्ट टाइम मेरे लाइफ में एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग केस हुआ एंड आई एम हैप्पी टू शेयर.
Sure.
आई एम श्योर हमारे जितने भी लोग देख रहे हैं सबको रेफरल्स आते होंगे. कैन यू इमेजिन टुडे अ क्लाइंट फ्रॉम नेदरलैंड कॉल्ड मी
Wow.
एंड NRI client, and you know what she tells me, Gajendra, I want to introduce to my British friend. He's a British citizen, not NRI.
Okay.
Okay, he's not Indian, but he is interested in India, investing in India, seeing my story, seeing my portfolio and my journey, and he's very much interested to understand कि can he invest in India as a foreigner, right? तो मेरे लिए बहुत खुशी की बात है क्योंकि आज तक कभी ऐसी रिक्वेस्ट नहीं आई है. NRI से बहुत आई है, रेसिडेंट इंडियंस, बट है फॉरेनर
Wow.
से, राइट? तो I said, yeah, there is a gift city route and through which he doesn't need a PAN card वगैरह वगैरह, he can invest. But this is what the conviction should be कि client is able to give you referral on their own without you asking for them, right? So जिस दिन आप उस लेवल पे पहुंच जाओगे ना, you will get hundreds and thousands of referrals. But till you reach there, okay. And by the way, how did we build our business in the earlier phase? We didn't ask for referrals. We worked hard a lot. We really worked hard on IPs. कि हमको जाके सेशंस करने हैं, 50 लोग अटेंड करेंगे, चाहे 2 लोग भी आए कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, बट वो सामने से आने चाहिए कि वी लव्ड योर सेशन एंड वी वांट टू नाउ बिकम योर क्लाइंट, राइट? आज हम पॉडकास्ट करते हैं तो सामने से लोग पॉडकास्ट देख के आते हैं. वी डोंट ट्राई एंड चेज देम.
Correct.
तो बट हैविंग सेड दैट, सब लोग के लिए पॉसिबल नहीं है आईपी करना है दिस थिंग, तो यू आस्क फॉर रेफरल. बट एक चीज है कि रेफरल जब पूछते हो ना, you should have that confidence कि आप जो मांग रहे हो you are able to do justice to them, because आज गौरव आप अपने फ्रेंड को रेफर करोगे ना, you would really want to refer to your a very good advisor because your neck is on the line. कल को अगर कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया ना, तो वो क्लाइंट, आपका फ्रेंड आपको हमेशा के लिए बोलेगा कि गौरव कहाँ मेरा पैसा फंसा दिया.
Correct. Correct.
तो
Absolutely.
you have to honor that very very high, with responsibility.
Yeah, sure. Also, Gajendra, I think there is one very interesting question which is coming in. And while, they're talking about, now investors have the second generation, correct? And their existing customers, they have kid. And now with this entire, Google investors information explosion, one question which they are, confronted with and they come across is that what is that value addition which as an MFD you are bringing in? Because I can do research online, I can do it myself, and so that is the resistance challenge which they are facing, particularly from the next generation of their existing clients. So how do you deal with this kind of objections, and particularly from the next generation?
So this is the biggest fallacy in our mind. We think I have 100% believe that DIY investing will never work in the world. Never.
Okay.
It's not now, it will never work.
Very,
It
very
didn't.
bold statement. Okay.
It's a very bold statement, and there's a reason because Gaurav, you have been old enough into the system, and I've been old enough. Uh, Investing is not an information game. It is not an analytics game. It is more of a behavioral game,
Hmm.
and behavior is very hard to teach to even the smartest people, right? 1000 साल पहले भी people were greedy and fearful and envious of other success. आज भी वही और 1000 साल बाद भी वही रहने वाला है, right?
Correct.
Greed and fear cycle will never end. We are hardwired for this. So our role as an advisor is to manage the behavior of the person, right? Benjamin Graham says investor is his own biggest enemy. और उसने ये बात 70 साल पहले बोली थी 1950 में.
Hmm.
तो
Hmm.
सोचो एआई आ गया, इंटरनेट आ गया, सब आने के बाद भी आज भी हम वही प्रॉब्लम है कि इन्वेस्टर इज इज बिगेस्ट एनिमी. इस साल का हाईएस्ट इन्फ्लोस गोल्ड में आया बिकॉज गोल्ड इज डन वंडरफुली. एक
Correct.
साल पहले हाईएस्ट इन्फ्लो स्मॉल कैप में आया था, थीमेटिक फंड्स में आया था बिकॉज वो किया है. तो थिंग्स नेवर चेंज, सम थिंग्स नेवर चेंज. तो इसीलिए एक अच्छे एडवाइजर की जरूरत पड़ेगी. 2 दिन पहले आप विश्वास करोगे हमारे पास हेड ऑफ प्राइवेट बैंक, वन ऑफ द लार्जेस्ट फॉरेन बैंक का हेड ऑफ प्राइवेट बैंक केम फॉर हिज ओन फाइनेंशियल प्लान.
Wow.
What more can you ask for, right?
True.
सारी HNI अल्ट्रा HNI दुनिया उनके पास जा रही है टू मेक देयर वेल्थ मैनेज, एंड ही इज कमिंग टू अस टू गेट हिज वेल्थ मैनेज. And by the way, he came from a referral which we
Hmm.
didn't ask, he came on his own. So
Okay.
that's the power of a strong referral if your clients give it. See, I want my clients, you know what, बहुत लोग जैसे ये बोल रहे हैं रेफरल मांगने का. मेरा ड्रीम है all my clients should become like these Volvo survivor agents, survival customers.
Hmm.
वो खुद जाके दुनिया में 10 लोगों को बोल रहे हैं कि what are you doing with your money, this is how you should be managing, and I'll give you the contact number of the right person who will
Right.
help you,
Hmm. Correct.
right? And so the day we are able to achieve this by having right processes, right mindset, right framework, तो पैसा अपना पाएगा. And I
Hmm.
don't worry about these youngsters. Last 5 साल में markets खाली one way ऊपर गए हैं. We've seen one side of it. We have not seen the full side of it. So let you see a 20%, 30%, 40% drawdown. Market's not going anywhere for 2 years. Reality will kick in, और आप देखोगे जितने भी लोग ये ऑनलाइन डीआईवाई पे गए हैं सब आपके पास आएंगे. दे विल कीप लुकिंग आउट फॉर गुड एडवाइजर. एंड लेट मी टेल यू गौरव, ये पैसा
Hmm.
सब एमएफडीज को नहीं आएगा. 90% of the share will go to 10% of the MFDs in the country. Only
Hmm.
those 10% who are scaling up, who are building, reskilling, investing in the practice, learning, right? Uh, they will get the disproportionate share. Uh, the world always behaves in the Pareto principle mode.
Right.
So that is why I can't remain complacent कि नहीं अभी मैंने सब कर लिया, मुझे सब कुछ आता है, अब क्या सीखना है. Every day I have to invest 2 hours, 3 hours into learning. चाहे मैं नया एमएफडी हूँ चाहे ओल्ड एमएफडी हूँ. अगर मुझे आज जो आप नेक्स्ट जनरेशन की बात बता रहे हो उसकी लैंग्वेज में नहीं समझता हूँ, उसके प्रॉब्लम्स क्या है उसके नहीं समझता हूँ, तो आई विल बी आउट ऑफ द गेम. सो आई हैव टू कीप अ पेस,
Yeah,
राइट?
that is very profound and I think very, very true, particularly in our industry, which is a knowledge-based industry. And, when we all are behavioral coaches, I think as an MFD, that is the biggest dharma, that you have to be a behavioral coach. So I think investing in your business, investing in yourself, you are rightly said that, that's very, very important. And the flow will also go to those clients or to those
Correct.
distributors only. Yeah. Uh, So very particular question, which is in terms of, your views on designing the portfolios of investors who have just retired and wanted to invest their retirement corpus. If you can just, kind of share your perspective, how do you do that for your investors?
So Gaurav, again, I'm again a big believer of simplicity, creating things simple, keeping things simple.
Mhm.
सो अगर रिटायरमेंट का क्लाइंट आया है, जैसे ये मेरे फ्रेंड का मॉम का पैसा ही था. शी इज 65,
Mhm.
मेरे फ्रेंड को पूछा कि उनको पैसे की जरूरत है, बोलता नहीं 6-7 साल जरूरत नहीं है, राइट? तो अगर जरूरत नहीं है तो आप एक नॉर्मल हाइब्रिड फंड, एग्रेसिव हाइब्रिड फंड, और मैंने बोला आपको रिटर्न एक्सपेक्टेशंस क्या है, तो बोलता 10-12% मिल जाए तो मोर देन इनफ, राइट?
Mhm. Mhm.
तो मैंने बोला एग्रेसिव हाइब्रिड फंड, ये लार्ज कैप फंड, डाइवर्सिफाइड इक्विटी फंड में डाल दो, 5-6 साल जरूरत नहीं है, उसके बाद जब जरूरत होगी तो हम एसडब्ल्यूपी वगैरह कर सकते हैं आराम से. सो एक या दो फंड में ही हमने सारा पैसा डलवा दिया. जनरली ओवर a period of time, I've started believing less is more in mutual funds. Unfortunately, हम एडवाइजर्स हम सबको लगता है हम 4 फंड देंगे, 5 फंड देंगे तो क्लाइंट खुश हो जाएगा, राइट? वो ले दे के रिटर्न आपका 12-13 पे ही आके रुक जाएगा, बिकॉज सम विल डू वेल, सम विल नॉट डू वेल. So
Correct.
just give one or two where you have your highest conviction, which the strategy has not performed well in the last 3 years. So it's a kind of a contrast strategy. और अगर आप कम फंड्स देंगे तो you'll be able to track it better. You know why you're giving that fund, what is the underlying philosophy. अगर आपने 10 फंड दे दिए तो आप सब तो खिचड़ी हो गई, आपको भी नहीं पता है, राइट? सो बी अकाउंटेबल. मतलब if you're not accountable, then you will not know what has gone right or wrong. So कम फंड दो, चाहे वो 5 करोड़ का पोर्टफोलियो, चाहे 50 लाख का पोर्टफोलियो. 2, 3 or at the max 4 funds are more than enough. Don't overspread, because mutual fund in itself is a diversified vehicle. आपका पैसा 50 कंपनीज में जाता है, तो आप उसको और ज्यादा, तब तो फिर आपने अगर 10 फंड दे तो इंडेक्स फंड ही हो गया ना आपका, यू अबाउट द एंटायर मार्केट,
You
राइट?
got
तो हाँ, तो कीप इट सिंपल. जितना आपके क्लाइंट के अकाउंट स्टेटमेंट में कम ट्रांजैक्शंस रहेंगे, उतना ज्यादा बेटर है. हालांकि एक अभी रिसेंटली हमारे पास एक क्लाइंट आया था, गूगल में काम करता है, आईआईटी खड़गपुर सिंगापुर में. उसका एक एडवाइजर था. यू नो व्हाट ही वाज डूइंग, गौरव? वो लिक्विड फंड से एसआईपी ले रहा था क्लाइंट्स की 1 लाख रुपए, और फिर महीने के 9 अलग अलग दिन वो लिक्विड फंड से एसटीपीस कर रहा था, उसी स्कीम के 5 फंड्स में. एक दिन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर फंड में जा रही है, एक दिन बैंकिंग फंड में जा रही है, एक दिन ये. और फिर वो कुछ टेक्निकल बता रहा था कि मार्केट अगर और गिरेगा तो हम, मतलब इतना कॉम्प्लिकेटेड कर दिया कि क्लाइंट लास्ट में मुझे बताया कि मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा है मेरा पैसा जा कहाँ रहा है. एंड
correct.
एक ही झटके में उसने 50 लाख रुपए उस एडवाइजर के निकाल दिए. ही सेड आई वांट टू मूव लॉक स्टॉक एंड बैरल टू यू गाइस. और हमने
Mhm.
बस 2 या 3 फंड दिए. हमने बोला चाहे 1 करोड़ हो चाहे 5 करोड़ हो, बस इसी 3 अलग अलग स्ट्रेटेजीज, अनरिलेटेड स्ट्रेटेजीज, एक साथ में ये तीनों फंड कभी काम नहीं करेंगे. दैट इज द होल आइडिया ऑफ डाइवर्सिफिकेशन. बट नेट in 5-6 years you can expect 12% kind of returns from this portfolio, and this is what he wanted.
That's a very interesting perspective, Gajendra, and I think you also said that the funds which are not performing, I think they become your highest in terms of allocator, based on your due diligence. And I think particularly in our industry, that is very, very important to understand, because as investors also, and as distributors also, often we have seen that behavior, that it's like a rear view, driving, which has been there. And जहां पे परफॉर्मेंस आती है वहीं पे पैसा आता है. करेक्ट. यू सेड स्मॉल कैप में रिटर्न दिखा दो, इन्वेस्टर को भी वहीं पे इन्वेस्ट करना है और एडवाइजर्स को भी वहीं पे इन्वेस्ट करना है. उसी तरह से गोल्ड में हमने फॉर एग्जांपल वी हैव सीन इट, एंड वी हैव सीन इट cycle by cycle. But I think what you are making it and practicing is, I think this is something which is very, very profound and very important for all our MFD friends to understand, that it is not necessarily that the funds which are the best number one fund in in the last 1 year, 3 year will give you the return. I think based on the style of the fund managers, based on the style of the funds, and it is always good to have a very diversified portfolios of the fund with different styles and different funds of what you are managing, and that I think is a good recipe for a in terms of as an advisor, the value which you can add to the investors here. There is one question which is that you invest your money in direct or regular class when you
Yeah, yeah.
invest in funds. Yeah.
No, I'll tell you. See, because our ARN code, and this is very funny. I don't know why the industry has this illusion कि आप अपने नाम पे करते हो तो you don't get commission.
Mhm.
If I'm putting in regular plan, then I should earn commission whatever it might be. But ठीक है, rules being rules. So all my family members' investments goes in the regular plan because my company is the ARN. But मेरा जो company का पैसा है वो unfortunately I have to put in direct, because if you put in regular plan the same code, you don't get money. So except my company's investments, all other investments happen under our code in the regular plan mode.
Perfect. Okay. So I am a new MFD running MFD business for building a brand in advisory space. Do I add CFP and CWM? Does that add value to my profile?
वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन. ये काफी क्वेश्चंस मेरे पास आते हैं. मेरा इसमें भी बहुत अलग टेक है. आई हैव स्टार्टेड टू बिलीव, एंड आई हैव लॉन्ग बिलीविंग कि ऑलमोस्ट ऑल ऑफ दीज डिग्रीज डोंट मैटर. You know, uh, if you are doing only from learning perspective, go ahead and do any course that you want, right? Whether it is CFA, CFP, from learning perspective, not for showing to the clients कि मेरे पास CFA. कोई client आपसे नहीं पूछेगा कि आप CFA हो, CFP हो, IIT हो, IIM हो, और इसलिए मैं आपको पैसा दे रहा हूँ.
Correct.
शॉर्ट टर्म में थोड़ा बहुत आ सकता है, बट लॉन्ग टर्म में तो बिल्कुल नहीं आएगा, राइट? सो मेरे टीम को भी मैं यही चीज बोलता हूँ कि मोर देन डिग्रीज, आप जो ये डेली लर्निंग्स करते हो, आज ऐसा टाइप का सेशन आप अटेंड कर रहे हो टाइम निकाल के, कंटिन्यूअस लर्निंग, एंड यूर लर्निंग नॉट टू शो ऑफ टू अदर्स. बहुत लोग अनफॉर्चुनेटली, अब ये ट्रेंड चला गया, कोई भी एक छोटा सा हम कोर्स करेंगे और लिंक्डइन पे डाल देंगे कि आई हैव डन दिस NISM एग्जाम एंड पुट इट आउट दिस थिंग ऑन द वर्ल्ड. These things don't work in the long term, right? You have to answer yourself, have you learned something new? Have you have has you become little more wiser today and tomorrow and day after tomorrow? You have to answer it, because client को ना वो दिख जाता है, आप डिग्री दिखाओ या नहीं दिखाओ वो दिख जाता है. So you have to be super in Excel, whatever you do. So if CFP can help you understand the concepts better, go ahead and do it, but don't do it just to put on your visiting card.
Correct. No, I think absolutely that's right. And while there are a lot of questions which are coming in, but I want to take this last question that today, if any MFD has to, kind of start their own business, and some of them have already recently started, or a few years back they have started, and they have in their journey to create that brand. What are in terms of, if I would, is there any checklist which they need to follow? Are there any do's and don'ts? Because both, what is that which they do not need to do, and what are the things which they need to do?
Yeah.
So there are a couple of things which comes to your mind. What will be those?
Yeah. So first of all, you have to ask yourself, Gaurav, are you playing T20 or Test match?
Okay.
Okay. And unfortunately, most of the players we see, larger players, are playing T20 matches. They are backed by private equity. I'm talking about larger firms and they're listing and this thing. So the
Correct.
focus is near-term, business growth, वगैरह वगैरह.
Quarter on
Huh?
quarter.
Quarter on quarter. I want to play the DOD game, not QOQ, decade on decade game. So if you are playing T20 versus Test match, I'm playing like Test match. तो मेरा कोई competition ही नहीं है ना, because the whole world is playing T20. So I'm not fighting with anyone. Right? So that's one. That's one. Second is skin in the game is non-negotiable. चाहे आप कोई भी गेम खेलो, राइट? इसीलिए आज का जो सेशन था ना, इस चीज में, ये डू और डोंट में नहीं, इसके बिना आप आगे बढ़ ही नहीं सकते हो इफ यू रियली वांट टू अचीव सर्टेन डिग्री ऑफ सक्सेस. एक बार स्किन इन द गेम आपने कर दिया, उसके बाद ईच MFD, आई बिलीव, गौरव, हैज अ यूनिक स्ट्रेंथ, एडवांटेज. Each one of us, God has gifted us with unique strength, and this thing, leverage that strength. In the sense, don't try and copy कि अरे गजेंद्र ये कर रहा है तो मैं भी ये करता हूँ. It may not work, because like for me, I was lucky. मुझे ये one-edit story मिली, I could connect and I could build on that. Now, today, if you try to build one-edit story, ठीक है, अच्छी है, there's nothing wrong with that, but it might not give you that kind of advantage the way it has given me, because I believed in it completely that point of time. But आपके पास कुछ नया है, आप नया चीज को करके करो. मतलब सचिन, we don't want second Sachin Tendulkar in India. We want somebody who is better than Sachin Tendulkar or different than Sachin Tendulkar. Like MS Dhoni आया, तो MS Dhoni was unique.
Correct.
Virat Kohli was unique again. Rohit Sharma, हाँ, unique था, right? We can't say, अरे he's a copy of Sachin Tendulkar.
True.
So each one of us are unique. Leverage your strength. So if somebody is very good with writing, आप regular write, लिखो, LinkedIn पे लिखना, LinkedIn पे लिखो. If somebody is good in making reels or some innovative videos, do it on Insta or wherever. If somebody, like a lot of people have got business through BNI membership or Rotary or whatever, so leverage your strength, find out what your strengths are, and if you're doing what you love, then you'll be able to do it consistently and for a longer period of time. बहुत लोग क्या करते हैं, एक साथ में 4 जगह शुरू कर देंगे, फिर हम किसी में भी कंटिन्यू नहीं करते.
Correct. Play on your strength. Identify.
Play on your strength and pick up one idea and do that. Take up one idea and take it seriously. बस मेरा यही समझ में आया मेरे को.
Correct. No, absolutely. I think you simplify all the complex, world. And I think from a business strategy perspective, also you have kept it so simple. And I think you have given that Brahmastra, I would say, that skin in the game is a brahmastra, which as a sales pitch, can work for any kind of clients. And, you have 90% success ratio in it. So I think that's a huge, very, very high success ratio for any kind of sales which has been there and without doing any sales. So you are getting sales without doing any sales. I think it is so interesting to get your perspectives. I hope, and I'm sure definitely that it is very, very helpful for all our partners. And they will be able to implement some of these learnings in their own practice and benefit out of it. I have seen you from many, many years that while you yourself has been into this practice and been practicing distribution, but right from the beginning, I think you have been sharing all your learnings with the distributor community. So I think we are so thankful to have you in the industry, and this industry is so great that even the competitors are actually sharing their success stories and recipe of success with their competitors. So I think we all are very blessed, and thank you very much, Gajendra, for your time today, for your insights, sharing your perspective. Thank you very, very much.
Pleasure is mine, Gaurav. Thanks for having me. I hope, as you rightly said, all our fraternity, if we keep learning from each other's perspectives, right,
Sure.
we'll all lift this industry and we'll all lift our clients' journey to a very great extent. So happy to do this anytime, for you and for Team Canara Robeco.
Truly said. So thank you very much, Gajendra.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Yeah.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.